I want you to close your eyes and imagine the mundane glow of your phone screen in a dark room, the endless scroll of social media before you fall asleep. Tonight, I'll whisper a story that might follow you into your dreams. The story of a man whose nightmares leaked out of his head and into his phone for the entire world to see.
Dark tales whispered at night.
In August of 2017, a cartoonist named Adam Ellis began documenting a series of strange events happening in his New York home. It didn't start with a bang or a slam, but with a dream, a deeply unsettling dream. He dreamt he was in a sleep paralysis state, unable to move, when a small boy with a large, misshapen, dented head appeared in a green rocking chair in the corner of his room. The boy got up and began to shuffle towards his bed. Just before he reached him, Adam woke up, gasping for air. He tried to shake it off. A nightmare, nothing more. But a few nights later, the dream returned. This time, he dreamt he was in a library, and a girl came up to him. "You've seen Dear David, haven't you?" she asked. Adam was confused. Who? The girl explained. "He's a dead boy. He only appears at midnight. You can ask him 2 questions, but if you ask a third, he will kill you." Adam saw David again in the dream, staring at him from across the library. He asked his first question, "David, how did you die?" David whispered, "An accident in a store." He asked his second, "What happened in the store?" David mumbled, "A shelf was pushed on my head." Adam, filled with a morbid curiosity, opened his mouth to ask the third question and woke up in a cold sweat. The name, Dear David, was now burned into his mind. The line between dream and reality began to blur. Adam had moved into a larger apartment upstairs in the same building. For weeks, nothing happened. He thought the nightmare was over. He was wrong. The first sign was his cats. Every single night, at exactly midnight, they would walk to the front door and just stare at it. Their ears twitching, their bodies tense, as if watching someone on the other side. They would stay there for minutes, then suddenly scatter as if something had startled them. Adam, remembering the dream, started to feel a creeping dread. He looked through the peephole. Nothing. He opened the door. The hallway was empty. But the cat's behavior continued, a nightly ritual that unnerved him to his core. He started taking pictures, videos, documenting everything on Twitter. People were captivated, terrified alongside him. Then came the objects. An empty green rocking chair, a gift from a friend, arrived at his door. The same chair from his dream. He put it in the living room, trying to laugh it off as a coincidence. But one night, while he was in the other room, he heard it. A soft, rhythmic creak. He filmed it on his phone. The empty rocking chair, under the dim light, was moving back and forth on its own. The horror was no longer just a dream. It had a physical presence in his home. Adam's fear turned into a desperate investigation. He started leaving a baby monitor app running on his iPad at night, recording audio while he slept. The recordings were mostly silence, the hum of the city. But sometimes, buried in the static, there were sounds. A faint, dragging noise across the floor. A low, distorted whisper that the software couldn't decipher. He bought an old Polaroid camera, believing the instant film might capture something his digital phone couldn't. He started taking pictures into the darkness of his apartment before going to bed. The first few were just black squares. Then, one night, he took a picture down the dark hallway towards his front door. He waited for the film to develop, his hands shaking. As the image slowly emerged from the gray, he saw it. In the middle of the dark hallway, illuminated by the camera's flash, was a small, shadowy figure. It was just standing there, watching the door.
The evidence was undeniable. He wasn't alone. He started having nightmares again, vivid dreams of David crawling into his bed. He felt the phantom sensation of small, cold hands on his arm. He would wake up with strange bruises. His life became a cycle of nightly terror and daytime exhaustion, all documented for a growing online audience who couldn't look away. He tried to reason with it, drawing a circle of salt around his bed, a flimsy barrier against the supernatural. It didn't work. The whispers on the audio recordings grew clearer. They weren't just random noises anymore. They were a single, repeated word. David. The haunting reached its terrifying peak a few months later. Adam had been away for a trip to Japan. For 2 weeks, there was peace. No dreams, no strange occurrences. He came home, hoping, praying that whatever it was had moved on. That night, exhausted from jet lag, he fell into a deep sleep, and he dreamt. He dreamt he was in his bed, but his body was being dragged by his ankle towards the foot of the bed. He woke up with a jolt, his heart trying to beat its way out of his chest. His phone, which was on his nightstand, had been taking pictures. It had an app that would automatically take a photo if it detected motion. He opened the photo gallery, his thumb trembling. The first few pictures were just blurry shots of his dark ceiling. Then there was a series of photos taken in rapid succession. They showed a pale, small shape slowly rising up from the foot of his bed. A head. A small child's head with messy dark hair and a massive caved-in dent on the side. In the final, horrifyingly clear photograph, the boy, dear David, was looming directly over him, his eyes solid black voids staring straight into the camera lens, straight into Adam's soul. The nightmare was no longer at the foot of his bed. It was inches from his face.
Shortly after that night, Adam Ellis moved out. He left the city, trying to put as much distance as possible between himself and the ghost he had documented. For a long time, the updates stopped. The story went quiet. He reported that the activity had ceased. The world moved on. But the story of Dear David became a permanent fixture of internet lore, a cautionary tale of a ghost story that unfolded in real time. It serves as a chilling reminder that in the modern age, a haunting doesn't need old houses or dusty attics. Sometimes, all it needs is a Wi-Fi connection. Adam continues his life, but the question always lingers, both for him and for the millions who followed his story. Was it all an elaborate hoax, or did a lonely, angry ghost truly reach out from the other side through a social media app? We may never know. But somewhere out there in the digital ether, the ghost of Dear David might still be scrolling, still watching, waiting for someone new to ask the third question.
If you've ever felt a presence you couldn't see, a chill in a room that you couldn't explain, share your story below. And remember, sometimes the ghosts of the internet could follow into your dreams and maybe into reality too. If these whispers reached you tonight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more. Until the next chill, good night, sweet dreams, where the whispers wait.